Welcome to Vacuum Wars and to our best spot cleaner competition video. We bought with our own money just about every portable carpet cleaner, aka spot cleaner, on the market that could reasonably be called a best seller and put them through a ton of all new tests, including a completely redesigned stain reduction test using a colorimeter. This video took several months to complete, and it's the most in-depth testing on these products that we've ever done. We put all the data we gathered into a spreadsheet and added it all up in order to determine which one of these spot cleaners was the best. And not only do I think we found the best spot cleaner, I think in the process we also found the best way to use these spot cleaners, which makes them way more effective than I had previously thought they could be, all of which I'll describe in the second half of this video. But first, I'll go over all the things that we tested and why, and then reveal the 3 best overall spot cleaners, as well as our pick for the best cordless model and the best budget model. So links in the description, and let's get started. First, the basics. These spot cleaners all operate the same basic way. You put water mixed with the included solution into the clean water tank, then use a trigger on the handle to spray the mixture onto the stain, and then wait a minute to let the solution work, and then scrub the stain as the machine sucks up the dirty water into the dirty water tank. Afterwards, you should empty the dirty water tank and ideally use the self-cleaning feature, if available, to clean the hose before storage. Let's talk about the factors we considered in our rankings. We tested their suction power in 2 different places on the machine, often with both a digital and analog manometer. Here, the Rug Doctor had the most suction, followed by the Kenmore corded and Kenmore cordless models, with the Bissell Little Green Mini Cordless having the least amount of suction, well below the average of 54 inches of water lift. We measured hose length, which ranged from about 6.5 feet on the Kenmore cordless to a little less than 4 feet on the Dreamy N10. We considered hose quality as well, which we scored by testing if the hose kinked when it was bent or not. We also gave scores for what we called hose management, which was determined by how well designed the system for wrapping and storing the hose and handle was. We gave them extra points if they had a swivel on the handle, which really does make a difference as it keeps the hose from getting twisted when you're scrubbing a stain. Similarly, we considered cord management and cord length. The Armor All had the longest cord at just over 20 feet, where the shortest was with the Altipod with just under 9 feet. We took into account things like their water tank capacity and if they had certain water-related features. For example, some of them had the ability to keep warm water warm with internal heaters, and a few of them, like the Bissell HydroSteam and Starrybot, turned water into steam, which supposedly helps with stain removal and sanitation, so they got extra points as well. One important feature we scored was how well they did with self-cleaning, and I'll take a sidebar here to discuss this issue more. Because of the nature of these machines, namely, you are using them to clean up nasty messes with a lot of bacteria, it's really not enough to just empty and rinse out the dirty water tank afterwards. You also need to clean out the hose itself, ideally after each use. For example, look at this hose, which I forgot to clean out last time I used it over a year ago. You can clean these hoses a few different ways. For example, you can simply suck up clean water with the hose afterwards, and that would work, but manufacturers often provide other ways. For example, sometimes they include these little caps for the hose where you press the clean water trigger to rinse out the hose afterwards, but those caps can be easy to lose, so some others provide a space on the machine itself where you insert the hose and it acts like a cap. Others have a button or lever on the handle which stops the water from coming out of the hose, and it does the same basic thing. We gave them just a few points if they had the included cap, and a few more points if they had more advanced self-cleaning options. We also gave them points based on their attachments. Most of them come with at least one small brush for scrubbing, and really this small brush is all I think you need, though some come with wider brushes or brushes with little tanks on them which can be used to suck up urine out of the carpet to keep it from going in the dirty water tank. Some also have the option to remove the standard bristles from the brush and replace them with rubber tips, which are much easier to clean if you're consistently consistently scrubbing up particularly nasty messes, which is helpful. Let's move on to talking about our new stain reduction test. We used a fixed amount of grape juice, which we then allowed to completely dry on white carpet. We used the spot cleaner in the way it was designed to be used. So that means using the solution it came with in the exact mixture that the manufacturer recommends. The test itself worked like this. We sprayed the solution on the stain for exactly 10 seconds, then waited 5 minutes before scrubbing the stain vigorously for 1 minute. We measured the perceptual lightness of the stains before and after the tests using a colorimeter, making sure to wait until the stains were completely dry before measuring. The final stain scores were based on the percentage of the reduction of the lightness of the stain, and the top 5 results looked like this. The Shark Stain Striker Hair Pro had the best stain reduction at 87.2%, followed by the Bissell Little Green Pro, the Bissell Hydro Steam, the Bissell Mini Cordless, and the original Shark Stain Striker. I think the Sharks and the Bissells did slightly better than the others here because of their solutions. For example, the Sharks have a separate tank just for Oxy, which is mixed with their other solution internally, and then it's sprayed on the stain. And the Bissells that we used with the Oxy Spot and Stain solution from Bissell tended to do better than the others. But for the most part, all these spot cleaners did about the same with minimal differences, which, quite frankly, I was not all that impressed with. Which is why you should stay tuned to the last half of this video, where I'll talk about strategies to achieving much better, near-perfect results with these spot cleaners. The final important consideration for their ranking was online reviews, because we at Vacuum Wars don't live with these products for long periods of time, and there are problems that we can overlook during our limited testing. So what we do is take into account 2 metrics, the Amazon review score and the percentage of those reviews that are only 1 star, which we've decided is a strong signal that something is not right with the product. It's not a perfect solution to finding quality control issues, but it's better than nothing. After adding up all these scores, the top 3 overall winners of our best spot cleaner competition are the Shark Stain Striker Hair Pro in first place with 223 points. It had the best stain reduction score, good suction, pretty much all the features and attachments you could want, and really good customer reviews. The original Shark Stain Striker was second place with 216 points, and the Bissell Little Green Pro, the winner last time we did this competition, was third place at 215 points, where the average score was 179. All 3 of those sell for roughly the same price at the moment. For our best cordless pick, it goes to the Bissell Little Green Mini Cordless. Despite it having a low suction score, it actually had a great stain reduction result. It has great reviews, it's selling for a pretty good price, and it surprisingly ended up ranking number 4 in our system overall. Moving on to the budget pick, the U-Want seems to be the clear choice here. It was the cheapest one we tested, but it ended up ranking number 6 overall. It has really good reviews, and it was slightly above average with the stain reduction test, so a great value. Now that we know which machines are the best, let's move on to part 2 of this video and talk about the best way to use spot cleaners. And I think I figured out 2 important things that you need to know in order to actually remove visible stains with a spot cleaner. The first and most important thing, and something that I've said before, is that you must pre-treat tough stains with something other than the mixture that comes out of the sprayer. The included shampoos that come with these machines just aren't good enough. When you spray a quality pre-treatment on the stain first and wait about 5 minutes and then scrub it up with one of these machines, the differences are night and day. I particularly think Oxy-based sprays work best. I tested a lot of those as well during the filming of this video, and I'll link the one that I found was the best for pre-treating stains in the description. For example, look at these dried-on grape juice stain results. The first one is the Shark Stain Striker, the winner of this competition, used only as directed. And the second stain is the one where we pre-treated it with an Oxy-based spray, and the third one is where we just repeated that process a second time. So in my opinion, buying a good pre-treatment spray is a way to get the results that you thought you were going to get when you bought the spot cleaner initially. And that brings me to the second critical thing to know to get the most out of your spot cleaner. For best results and, if at all possible, catch a urine stain or a spill while it's still wet, and first use the spot cleaner to suck up all the liquid. Don't even press the water trigger on the spot cleaner. Only use its suction power to suck up as much liquid as you can first. Then use a pre-treatment spray or just use the spot cleaner as directed. Let it all sit for 5 minutes and then use the spot cleaner to scrub the stain and suck up the rest of the liquid. For example, look at the following stains. The first is a coyote urine stain that was completely dried, and then we used the Shark Stain Striker as directed. The second is the same amount of coyote urine, but we used the spot cleaner to suck up as much liquid as we could while it was still wet, and then used the Shark as directed, which was almost but not quite perfect. But the best results came when we sucked up as much liquid as we could first with a spot cleaner, and then pre-treated the stain that was left, and then sucked all that up with the spot cleaner again. So in conclusion, after all of our tests, the Shark Stain Striker Hair Pro is the best spot cleaner. But you do have to use a pre-treatment spray for best results, especially for urine stains. And number 3, for best results, use the spot cleaner to suck up the spill before treating the stain while it's still wet, and you will be 1,000 times more happy with the results. Links in the description to all the winning spot cleaners I mentioned, as well as to the pre-treatment spray that we found to be the best during our extensive testing for this video. Be sure to subscribe to Vacuum Wars before you leave, and thanks for watching. All of the links in the description are updated regularly to reflect our current favorite vacuums in multiple categories. You'll also find links to the Vacuum Wars website in the description, where we have more detailed lists of our favorite products, like our new top 20 robot vacuums list, which is updated weekly.